Hey gang, welcome back to Jade's Garage. Today's video, I'm working on putting on the trim around the windshield and the back glass for the 68 Mustang known as Jade. If you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to see more. Alright, so I'm putting new trim around the front windshield, and I'm putting existing trim that I had, the stainless original stuff, around the back glass of the car. You probably saw in a previous video the installation of the front glass and the rear glass, and I talked about the gasket and the clips and all that sort of thing. And I'm going to do another video about this, or essentially a more detailed video on Patreon. So if you're interested in finding out more about how to do this, follow the link up in the corner there and join the team, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Now when I put the glass in the car, I did not put any bedding compound around the gaskets. I didn't want to mess with it and make a big mess of everything, so I plan to do it afterwards. And what I'm going to do is use this auto bedding and glazing compound from 3M. Never tried it before. I hope that it works. I'm just going to cut the tip, get the end open, and put it in a caulking gun and work it around the perimeter of the gasket and also around the outside of the windshield where the gasket meets the frame of the body, let's say. So that's the plan for this stuff. Hopefully it's not a conflict. Along with that, I'm using these Corvex pieces that I got from Kentucky Mustang. These are nice trim pieces, and they actually came with screws and clips that you would use on a 64.5 Mustang, but this is a 68, so the trim already exists. Again, I talked more about this in a previous video when I put the windshield in the car. You can go back and check that out and see how that goes. As it is, it's starting to rain, so not that it matters, I'm inside the garage, but I can hear it raining. So let's see if I can get this thing put together and not make a mess of things. Okay, so the plan at this point is to get some tape around these edges, and I'm using 1.5" masking tape, and this is just trying to be, you know, cautious. Now what I want to do here is kind of get the feel for where the center is on that piece. So I will take a Sharpie and I will mark that once I get it centered. Well, I'm just going to use a simple caulking gun, you know, something you get from Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. Cut the tip off, and this has a nice little extra piece on there that you can pierce the seal on the inside. So let me get this ready. Okay, we're going to see just how big a mess I can make with this. Hopefully it's not as bad as I think it's going to be. We'll find out. So again, I've cut the tip off, and I think I'll just start like towards the middle of the glass and work my way to the side here. So push that back and just kind of push it down in there. That's working. Doing it like that seems to be working. At least to that point. Ah, what a mess already. Fun. Alright, see if I can't get this down in there some more. Really hard to film, you know, and show you the material going into the groove, but it is. I think what I'll do is take a paint stick and push off that extra stuff. It's going to take a little bit of lacquer thinner on a paper towel. You just see what happens. Oh yeah. It'll probably take several rounds of touch-up to get it all cleaned up, but it looks pretty good right there. So I'll continue on, go all the way around, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so as you can see, I did mask off the perimeter of the windshield opening. Try to be careful to get, you know, as close to the edge as I can without getting underneath where the trim is going to go. And I've already gone all the way around the perimeter with the bedding compound. So now I need to clean that stuff up, and I'll use a variety of things. I may use a paint stick, may use some lacquer thinner, but I'll get that cleaned up and then go around the outside of the gasket. I'm not sure exactly where the camera's aimed at the moment, but all I'm trying to do is get a bead in between. And then of course the clip gets in the way, but that's all part of it. Going to get a little bit of that out of this corner. Maybe. I like it. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of it up on top there, and we'll come back and take another look. Alright, it is actually the next day. You know, I started on this yesterday and I didn't have time to put the trim on the car, but this stuff is still soft. And it's supposed to stay that way, I guess, indefinitely. So that's a good thing. I'm going to try to get the trim on, and I'm going to start with the bottom. You know, that bottom piece, it overlaps, or the side pieces overlap the base. So you have to start at the bottom, get that piece in, and then the other pieces kind of work in together. Now, I'm hoping that I have an assistant, have some help coming. Have somebody stopping by the shop to visit and take a look at the car, and maybe he can help me put the trim on. So let's hope. Alright, so I got some help today, and we're going to try to get that lower piece of trim on the car. As I mentioned, you know, you have the clips obviously, and the piece of trim has to interlock into it. As I mentioned before, I had put some index marks on the trim so I know where it was center to center on the car, and Rick is going to help out, and he's going to do a lot here. He's going to hold on to the end of this to make sure it doesn't move around and hit any paint. So we're going to get this lined up. I'm going to get the index tape marks. And I'm going to start on this side and try to get this first clip in, and all he's going to do is just hang on to it. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I got one. Now the tricky part is making sure that I'm under. So yeah, hold that out just a little. Okay. Cool.
You want me to keep a twist on this?
Just kind of keep some pressure on it. This is a hard part because I can't reach it. There it went.
Did it.
There it went. Okay. That one's going under.
It
You
is.
got that one lined up.
It's lined up.
Okay. Let me do this. Keep pressure on. Okay. Let me work my way over there. And we talked about that one.
Right.
Really not much I can do about it. But it's on. It's on. Should be these pieces. Now are they? Well, that's just right at the edge of that. You see where that's at? That's just, I mean, that's just barely touching it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the bottom piece in. It took some effort to get it in place. It does fit decent. I don't know that anything else would fit really any better. And it has enough length that, you know, these pieces overlap now like they should. So I got on the driver's side and the driver's side top piece. And that interlocked with that. And I really just had to drive it on, you know, with my fist. But really, what else are you going to do? You know, that's just, that's how this stuff is made, and it wasn't that great when it was original. I thought it might have been able to just like snap over that, but that's not looking like a possibility. Aha! So it did snap over that. It did snap over that. Well, I have all the trim on the windshield. The trim itself looks really good. You know, no complaints at all about the trim and how it's made. But you run into stuff like this. You know, you end up with a gap. And there's really not a lot you can do about it. You know, the way this trim is made, it's limited as to how far it can actually go down. And the clips are going to stop it, the pins are going to stop it. And here, I mean, what are you going to do? The alternative may have been, before I got to all the bodywork and paint, that I had put all these on and maybe put some filler in here to shape it up some. But we're talking a lot of work. And these things didn't fit fantastic at the factory. You know, it's really just kind of the way it is. You know, that's just the way it is. So at the base of the windshield, I have a little bit of a gap right here. Again, this can't go in any further. You know, it's stopped by the pins. It will overlap the fender. That's normal. That's how they were designed. The rest of it, you know, it looks okay. It looks okay. Still the same kind of thing here. You see a little bit of space. But like I said, these didn't fit fantastic when they were new. So that's the way it's going to be. Anyway, that'll be the end of this video. I'd planned to make one video to do the front glass and the rear glass in the same video, but there's too much going on. So since I ran out of the sealant that I'm putting on around the perimeter, I decided to wait because I had to order the other stuff, and when it comes in I'll do the other video. However, I hope you got some good information out of this. This can be a challenge. This can be stressful. Anytime you have a car painted and you try to put on shiny pieces, you could cause or have some issues. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.